So this afternoon we have my friend, co-worker.
Wait, can you move over? I'm
Maia
hardly in the
Mitchell.
frame.
I don't have any room. I'm right by the fucking bathroom. With us today on our lunch break, and Maia, thanks for agreeing to do this.
It's it puts me out a lot. I really.
What do you mean it puts you out?
I mean,
An
I
awesome
value
term.
my lunch times,
You
so
didn't
this
eat?
means a lot.
You didn't get your soup?
No, I ate before I got to work.
Your blue drink?
I only got here an hour ago, so I'm not tripping.
She's
I had
chilling.
blue drink.
She's chilling. But it's hot as fuck in here, so if we start to perspire, that's why.
I told him that I could put the AC on, but he refused. He's
It's
a
just-
martyr.
It's gonna make a lot of noise. I'm not a martyr. I'm more of a masochist.
Oh my god.
But anyways, so this is Rise and Thrive, and
Yes, I'm a big fan, by the way, of the
you've
Rise
seen my
and
Rise and
Thrive
Thrive
movement.
videos.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah?
It gets me up and going.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Look at that. That makes me blush. I'm gonna do it reverse with you and ask you. I normally ask this question at the end. I'm sweating like a fat black woman in church, but for real, I'm hot as hell right now.
Well, what do you want me to do?
No, just we'll be cool. I'm done complaining about it. But
It's not.
I usually end the conversation with this question: what do you think the word thrive is? What's the definition of the word thrive
Right.
to you?
To me, thriving is about being true to who you are, 100%, and not being, I guess, led astray by other forces.
Mhm.
So, and being really strong in that conviction. That's thriving to me, for me.
Which is perfect, and I'm glad that I started with that question because that's my first question and reason for wanting to interview you is that
Okay.
every person that I interview, every friend of mine that I interview is someone who inspires me in some form or another. And for you, you can read it right there, I'm inspired by your authenticity and your fearlessness about being and feeling whatever it is that you're feeling in the moment and expressing that. For real. I mean, I get to see it on a day-to-day basis. And to me,
I
it's-
don't have a filter, is what he's saying.
yeah, but it's not just that you don't have a filter, because there are a lot of people that are just rude that don't have a filter, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you go through all the variations and gradations of moods and how you're feeling, but you don't hide it, you know? You're just there with it and you're present for it, and I think that's what partly is why you're such a great actress, because being present is one of the most overlooked things when it comes to acting and
Right.
art in general.
Right.
And it doesn't matter really what the scene calls for. If you're bringing what you feel in that moment, the scene will find itself.
Right.
You'll
Absolutely.
find yourself in the scene. So that is why you inspire me. I just want to say that. And where did that come from? That spirit.
From my dad.
Yeah.
From my pops. He's the most fascinating person I've ever met, and he is so innately who he is and so fearless in that, and like basically operates in like a parallel universe to everybody else. He's he doesn't stick to any like social brackets or anything. He and it used to embarrass the hell out of me as a kid, and I have a 14-year-old brother, and I know he's going through that right now, but like now that I'm older, I'm like so appreciative of that, and see how endearing that is and how charming it is. And so it's definitely from my dad and my mom. My mom is a very clear communicator, and she likes to make her feelings known and make people aware of how she's feeling at the time. Like, that's always been something that we've done in our family. So I've always had the license to do that, which I'm super grateful for. I think there's times when you can reel it in a little bit.
Yeah. But
which is where my dad's part of it comes in, because he just he's who he is in any social situation.
there's no reeling it in with him.
No.
Yeah.
He could be with like the president of the United States,
Yeah,
and
he's
he
just gonna
would
be himself.
be the same as the homeless dude on the street. He's a cab driver, so he he quit his job and chose to basically go back to driving cabs just because he loves people so much, and he just gives people free rides all night because he just enjoys.
For real?
Yeah, because he just enjoys people's company. Like, he's just that kind of dude. He'll give his last cent. and he'll be the same way with the dude in the cab as he will with like whoever else.
What was the job that he quit?
He was in like telemarketing for this company
I would
called
quit
Telstra.
that too, though.
Like we went through a lot when I was like 15, and there was like some health stuff in our family, and I guess he started fresh and like quit his job, took out all his like retirement money, went traveling for a year, like messed up his car driving across Australia.
Mm-hmm.
He had this car because I was working on a show that was kind of in like on the opposite side of Australia, so on the western side.
Trapped?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I went back and found some of those clips. I told you I was going to do some research. I didn't watch Teen Beach Movie, though. I watched the rehearsal process, which I do have questions about, but yeah, I went back and watched. It was Trapped, and then what was the other one?
Trapped, and then we did a season called Castaway.
No, but there was one when you were even younger.
Oh, Mortified.
Mortified,
That's
yeah.
when I was like 11.
You were a little shitter in that show.
Yeah. You saw it?
Yeah, you had a little cut.
With my little haircut?
Yeah, you were mean.
But she redeems herself at the end of the series.
I saw clips. I'm sorry for judging.
You need to go back and watch all 26 episodes so you can understand my character arc.
I got enough in the 5 minutes that I saw from episode 9. It was the disco episode.
Oh, the disco.
Yeah.
The disco.
Yeah.
No, but what was I talking about? Oh, yeah,
Your
my
dad.
dad. My dad, like, drove over to Broome, which is where we shot that show, to visit me, and I was 15, I think, and he had this little white Suzuki Swift, and he had made roof racks to take all of his stuff, like, out of, like, wooden homemade roof racks, and, like, drilled them into the top of the car, and then, because he was driving in, like, the desert, he put, like, chicken wire, like, covered the whole car in chicken wire so that the stones wouldn't, like, damage the car. And then he put these elephant tusks that he'd found on the front of the roof racks. And then he got worried that would be, like, dangerous or something. So then he pinned 2 soccer balls to the elephant tusks.
He was worried? Okay.
So it's just this, like, little white car covered in like elephant tusks and soccer balls and
chicken wire
and chicken wire, and he rolls up to Broome, and I'm like 15 and like awkward as hell, and he rolls up and pulls out these like dead birds that he found along the way that he was planning on, you know, keeping.
He's like a cat.
He's like so, and I was just like, oh my god, we were staying in this like resort while we were shooting, and he like wanted to keep them on the balcony, and people started like complaining about the smell. I was just like, I love you so much, and I'll appreciate this later, but right now, oh my god.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, he wore he came to a premiere I had for Teen Beach 1, I think, and
what did he wear?
He wore jodhpurs.
What's that?
Like horse riding pants with rainbow leg warmers and a white like button-up dress shirt with this like sheepskin vest. I was like, I'm down, I'm in. And everyone loved him. He's like the most charming person I've ever met.
I love that. I feel like I'm gonna be that kind of father.
You are.
I can't wait to be that kind of father, honestly.
It's amazing. It's the best.
In retrospect.
It's
amazing.
It is. When you're young, it's like hard to understand, but
it's hard to understand your parents, period.
Yeah.
Whether they're the most buttoned up, uptight people, or they're the most free spirited people, you know. When you're under I really think it makes a big difference. So actually, yeah. So you left when you were young to go shoot this show. You went across Australia. And then you left relatively young to do Teen Beach Movie, right?
Yeah.
So did you come to this appreciation for your father's authenticity and the authenticity he inherently planted in you, whether you were aware of that or not at the moment, when you left? Or was that something...
It was, the awareness was growing, for sure, but I think it was once I was, like, thrown into this world where, like, the people around me, their parents were, like, so different to that. They were so consumed by like the culture of Los Angeles and conforming and coming across a certain way, and you know, all just stage parent bullshit, just freaky shit.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when I was like, oh, I'm so grateful that my dad is not like that, and I'm so grateful that my parents didn't let me move to the city at 13 to try and, you know, make it whatever. Like, I'm so grateful now. At the time, not at all. But like, as I came over here and like saw the benefit of that, like, it was, it's been a growing appreciation.
Well, that's even testament to your precociousness that you were aware of that so quickly, you know, because I feel like you were thrust into the spotlight. You kind of like had this meteoric rise.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people would get caught in that whirlwind, you know. So the fact that you were able to see that this is not what I want to be, but I'm aware of it, this is what I have to deal with, and I'm so grateful that I have the foundation that I do. That's a very mature mindset, you know, that I think most people don't come into. I don't think a lot of people come into it. Just the awareness, you know, to be authentic it's a gift. So, like, when do you, because you said there are times where you do have to reel it in, what are those times that you feel like?
Oh, like, if I'm going through personal problems and I turn up to set and, like, you know.
You reel it in?
I try to. I don't. I make it everyone
you
else's
reel it
problem.
In? Yeah?
No, I don't. I'm saying I'm working on it.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, between action and cut, I definitely do. But I think there's, like, an element of, like, doing what we do. We have to, there's, like, an appropriateness of when to, like, you know, just be an emotional
I'm just
ball.
thinking about yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
When you were mad.
I got really mad yesterday.
Between action and cut, and you were so pissed.
I was so mad, and I had to do something really annoying happened to me, and then I had to go into a close-up, and I think my face was like this.
But for good reason. It was inappropriate,
a good reason.
The thing that happened to you. And
yeah, but it was fine. I mean, it was fine, and I'm over it, but, like, it was, like, action, and I was, like, we were shooting this, like, happy group scene where we're all celebrating, and then it's cut, and I'm just like...
But that's how I know you.
I know, but I don't think I'll ever be any different than that. Like, I can't lie. Be. Like,
yeah.
I'm the worst liar in the world. My boyfriend always knows when I'm, like...
hiding something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and not telling the whole truth.
Yeah. Or, like, I'm upset and, like, trying not to let him know.
Yeah, I'm reading this book, just on a little tangent right now, where it talks about the value in expressing however you feel at all times, you know, and just being truly authentic like you are. But no matter what the situation, no matter what the consequences may be, if you do it in a very, very truthful manner, you may suffer, you may be rewarded, but the inherent and just intrinsic growth that comes in you and in that relationship cannot be overlooked, you know. And it's something that most of us, we try to avoid because it's uncomfortable.
But you do that.
No, I don't do it enough. There are, and when I was younger, I used to do it way more, but it was from a closed-off place. I was very, very honest, but I was not fully allowing things to affect me, you know. Now that I do feel so much, it's a lot harder because there's the empathy, there's the shit that I'm feeling, but I am working on being more transparent all the time, vocally, not just brooding in it. You know, because I feel like you can feel that energy off a person, but
absolutely.
When you're withholding it, that can lead to a lot of health problems, you know, relationship issues down the line, you know. So yeah, that was just a little tangent. But for people that, like myself and other people that want to be more authentic, I don't know, just like what's some advice for being more yourself?
It's so hard to advise on that topic because I don't really know how I do it or why I do it. I think it's just who you are. But, I mean, if you're trying to be more that way, I think it's just, like, a fearlessness and a trust that the people around you are going to, like, appreciate that. And if they're not, then you're hanging with the wrong people. And that's what I learned, too, when I came out to LA, by the way. I've been through it with friendships. And... you know, just mixing with people that I didn't connect to on, like, an authentic level and having to let those friendships go. Like, I really have been through that. And so I think a lot of it is about like trusting that you can be authentic with the people you're around. I mean, work and whatever, that's different, but I guess it's about creating an authentic space, an authentic lifestyle, so that you have the license to do that.
So surrounding yourself with people who are fully comfortable with you being yourself, supportive of you, encouraging, pushing you to be yourself, and then doing something that fosters a deepening of self-awareness. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and meditation.
And meditation. You meditate?
It's been on my to-do
But
list.
meditate if you want to be more like Maya, because she doesn't do it.
You can be more like me than I am.
That's scary.
You don't want to be like me.
That's not true. When I first met you, I thought you were really cool.
What do you think now?
I think you're a human being.
Oh.
But when I first met you...
It was a good impression?
Yeah, because your brother had just come to town. And...
Everyone likes my brother.
No. It was the
me.
way that you were being with him. You remember? You probably don't remember. But I asked you, I told you, I said, you know, it's really cool that, you know, your brother, he flew all the way out here, you're taking him around, you know, giving him all this attention. You were like, you know, I'm a huge cunt, I'm a big bitch, you know, I left my brother, you know, he came over here to, like, pursue my career, my absentee sibling.
It's the worst Australian accent I've ever heard.
I wasn't Australian. I thought you were from New Zealand. I'm fucking with you. But, I thought that was really, really cool. Because I had never been in a situation like, you know, a TV show. And then to see you, who's carrying the show, have your little brother come out here and still be so supportive and just grounded, you know? It was dope. Because I don't see that all the time, you know?
I'll take
so,
that.
I'm giving it to you to take. How did growing up in that small town influence you though, at like in your artistic nature?
It's a small town, but it's so rich in creativity. Like it's this kind of gypsy hippie town that's quite culturally progressed, I guess. We have like a writers' festival there where all the writers in Australia come and the international writers, and we have like big music festivals. It's kind of like an oasis for creatives to come. So like a lot of the time the people that live there are people who have moved from Sydney or Melbourne or wherever else. So it's like full of really clever, interesting, artistic people. We have like this huge lantern parade, which is like everyone comes out and the lanterns are just like huge and beautiful and like just, I don't know, it's just a really creative, yummy, gorgeous, like kind of lefty.
I'm more of you in this. I'm listening.
Lefty kind of a town. So there was like a great arts program at the high school I went to, and performing arts, and then I went to this great theater school which was in my town as well, and we had an agency in the town, so like it was just like one of those weird little bubbles. So I think it like gave me that license to be creative and artistic and really believe that like, yeah, I can be an actress. Like I always just thought that would happen. I think that's why it has.
And so quickly, because your belief was clear.
Yeah, I mean it happened kind of quickly. I mean I started very young.
How old?
I mean I started acting when I was like 5. I joined the theater program, the theater school I was in when I was like 5 or 6.
And this was something you wanted to do, or did your mom?
No, my mom had no I played like a bee in a school play, and then after that was like, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life.
You got bit. You got stung.
I got stung by the bee.
You got stung, son.
Yeah, and then so I started this theater program and like loved it, was obsessed with it. That's like all I wanted to do. I was a dancer as well. And then I had severe scoliosis, so I had to quit ballet, which like at the time was pretty heartbreaking, but like a couple months later I booked my first show, and so then it was just like, all right, this is what I'm doing. And I don't know, but I'm glad that it was a small town. I'm glad it wasn't Sydney. I'm glad I wasn't like at some competitive art school and like going to auditions every day and doing that hustle at that age. Like I'm really glad I had
time to be a kid. Yeah.
And run around and like live in a place where we were going outside to hang out, and like parties were in like paddocks and fields, and we'd like drive our cars and sleep in the cars overnight, and like jump in the creek at like 2 a.m. Like that's the shit we were doing growing up, and I'm like very glad to have that.
It's a unique experience, man, and I kind of got that feeling. I don't know if it's something that we've talked about or you just talking about your hometown, but it's something Matthew McConaughey was talking about, where it's like he grew up just, playing in the woods. He was, an outdoorsy kid. And there is really something very powerful about that, especially nowadays. How do you feel like, is that just so strong in you? Is that your foundation, that you don't feel like social media and the way things are in 2017 are really affecting you in that regard? Do you feel like they have been kind of chipping away at that foundation, or
They
like
have.
Yeah?
Yeah, they totally have. And I think it's been like a process of figuring out how to use social media without like compromising, like, I don't know. Social media is so weird because every single thing is so thought through, and it's like really what you're putting out there is so considered and such a like intentional perspective that you want people to have about you, So like it drove me a little mad like a few years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, when I first like
Social media?
like when I started getting like the followers and like the attention from the show and from Disney Channel, and like I found myself worrying so much about how I could authentically put myself forward and like how I could give people the correct impression of me. And it kind of drove me a little nuts, because then I was thinking so hard about like, should I post this? Is it really who I am? Like, is it really going to be, an accurate representation? And I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is such a waste of my time. Like, why do I even care how people perceive me? Because I have no control over that. So I think it's been like more of like a maturity thing of me like letting go of like needing to care about what people think of whatever I'm putting out there, and just putting out whatever I want to put out and saying whatever I want to say, whether it be political or personal or whatever. I try to keep it not too personal, which is another lesson I've learned from social media.
It had gotten too personal?
Yeah, it got a little too personal, and like, so I try to keep it like fun and like chill and not too personal, and then that's, I think, a good balance. But yeah, that's been like a weird thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still keeping it authentic.
Right.
Whatever
that is.
You, man. You. I think you're the definition of it. Honestly. Yeah, I want to jump to the whole, since we're on the topic of the social media thing. When you Google your name, the first thing that comes up is you and your boyfriend, Maia Mitchell, Rudy Manusco.
Manusco?
Is that his name?
No.
Oh, what is it?
Mancuso.
Mancuso. Sorry, Rudy. So I started.
You call him Rudy Manusco now.
I thought that's what I've been calling him. I was like.
People think his name is Randy Mancuso.
No, I know the Rudy part. So I watched some of your videos together, and I saw the one you guys recently did, the passing each other by one. And then was it the first date one, or like the ideal date one? And then there was one, the Star Wars one. That was silly.
It was very silly.
You guys are silly. He's so funny. He's
Why
crazy.
Not, though?
No, I know exactly. It's great. But what's that creation process like, in terms of the musical collaborations, and then like that little skit or whatever you would call it?
Honestly, I'm gonna brag for a second because no one knows this, but he is the most insane person I've ever met. The fact that he can pull off all of these videos and prep them and shoot them and edit them, and the turnaround is so short, like, and he's got so many to do. And he's also, by the way, like, working on 1,000 other things that are like bubbling under the surface that are about to go crazy. So like, just multitasking all these things at once, like, I would go insane. But yeah, the process, I guess, is that he like writes it maybe the night before or thinks about it for a few days, and then, but on set it's quite I mean, they have like a shot list and they prep and everything, like, it's quite thorough, but it's a little more like improvised and like free than it is on our show. So it was definitely different for me to like not just like do the scene as a whole, like from action to cut, and like it's just like a different way of shooting, but it's very efficient and faster, and then he edits it pretty fast. I mean, he refuses to let anyone else edit his videos. He will do it all himself, so it takes a little more time, but I think, I mean, he's a great editor, so. But yeah, the music for the Split Love he wrote, which I don't know if a lot of people know. If you haven't seen this YouTube video,
go watch it.
Go watch it. But he wrote that, and he's like the most talented classical composer for piano, like, and strings and everything. He's crazy talented.
So he wrote all the stuff.
All of it.
Okay.
All the music, and like he does a lot of videos with like percussive beats, and all of the music he writes with our friend Jamie Rise as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I was curious because I don't know anything about the world of new media stars and like Vine and all that stuff, but I'm impressed by what they do and what they accomplish, and so I was just wondering what that I thought it was more of a collaboration,
Which one?
with more so the music than the Star Wars thing.
What are you talking about?
Just the process, like leading up to.
Oh no, I have nothing to do.
You have nothing to do with it.
Zero.
You just show up.
He gives me the script the day before.
So he's like, babe, I wrote this.
He's like, babe, do you want to shoot a video on Saturday? It's gonna be about this, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'll say no.
Yeah.
Sometimes, most of the time.
So the date one, that was him too?
Yeah, he wrote that, and then that was all him. But he has like a slightly bigger crew now, so he had a lot of help. But like, yeah, it's all him.
That's dope. That's
yeah,
really
clever.
dope. All right. So piggybacking off the singing, which one do you enjoy more, acting or singing? How do the two make you feel in their own distinct ways? And do you have any intentions on doing anything with music in the future?
I'm kind of at this strange crossroads with music. I have a fear of pursuing music because I don't want it to seem like I feel entitled to being a musician because I'm an actress. Mm-hmm. I have a real issue with people that pursue music who aren't that good because they have a platform in another field. Mm-hmm. Like, I just have like real problems with that, and like find it difficult to respect that. So I wouldn't want to use the fact that I can act and I'm working in that field to like elevate me in that field. And so if I were to do it in any way, I'd probably want to like be in a band and play in like local LA bars and do that kind of route and see where it goes. I've had opportunities where I've almost like been very close to signing like
record deals.
Yeah. And like been in the room and just like my heart was like like you're like this is not right, like this is not gonna, you're not gonna listen to this or want to promote it and like feel proud, like you're just gonna feel like, I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about though, Maia Mitchell. That's what I'm talking about, that authenticity.
I also like I don't have the confidence in music that I do in acting. Like I feel quite confident in my acting abilities at this point. But I don't. I have. Short there. No. I mean, I think I could sing. I just like.
You don't think with some lessons and some time invested into your music?
Yeah, but I'd have to invest the time.
And you don't want to do that.
I have my own it's a little journey I'm going on right now. But no, I have opened myself up lately to
the music.
Yeah, especially because Rudy's been writing so much great music and it's pretty inspiring. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, I saw that video of you playing guitar.
The cover, yeah.
Yeah. That didn't look like a girl that was afraid of pursuing her music.
Oh, that was the most scary thing I've ever done. Was
but you
recording
did it though.
That video.
Yeah.
But
of course, you're gonna be scared.
It tortured me.
But you still did it.
Yeah, I did it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I know.
You went through the torture. A lot of people aren't even gonna face up and go against the torture, but you went through it, which I think is very inspiring. So how does it make you feel though? Because I've interviewed two artists on here that are both actresses that both started off singing. That was their like first love, and they're now transitioning into cultivating more of that part of their artistry. But they both had very interesting things to say about their experience when it came to acting versus singing. So
they're both vulnerable things in a very different way.
Okay, like what do you mean?
Well, like acting is you're being vulnerable, but you're kind of hiding in another person. Like you have this like shield of like someone else's words that is if it's scripted, like someone else's words and another character that you're kind of jumping into. So you kind of are like protected, like that's how I see it. And that's how I like am able to like be brave and do it. Whereas music,
that's just you.
That's raw.
Yeah.
That's just you.
Yeah.
So like I think that might be.
And is that too much for you?
It's a little.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit. I'm a fragile creature.
No, I mean I hear I don't have any musical abilities, and I know that like I love singing.
I've heard you sing.
You've heard me do like vocal warm-ups. You haven't heard me sing.
Have heard you do many of vocal warm-ups.
Yeah.
This kid has the craziest vocal warm-ups and physical warm-ups. We'll like sometimes share like a 3-banger trailer. I can hear it. I can feel the energy. I can feel the trailer shaking.
And that makes me self-conscious because that's
Why?
that's so vulnerable.
It's so good.
But it's okay then. Then you should start singing because I think that would be so good. Because to me, I know you or Danny is in the trailer next door, and they're like, what is this kid doing?
No, I'm like, yo, this kid is so much more committed than we are.
I'm just trying to be great. I'm just trying to be great out here, kid. That's it.
You're not jaded yet.
Not quite.
Working on it.
Working on getting jaded.
My Gatorade. Keep talking.
Yeah. So, when it comes to let's say the type of artist you've been. I was watching a lot of your interviews in the past, and you seemed to be very focused on what you were clear on what it was that you wanted. You were like, I'm gonna do this. Interruption.
Yeah.
The meal's ready for you.
Okay, no worries. I'll be right out.
Okay.
How much
We
more
got,
time do we have?
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
I'm gonna tell her I'm in the bathroom.
Alright.
I'm just in one. Thank you.
So,
Okay, I just bought us like 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Okay.
Alright. So we got 4 minutes. Let's close with a question then. Okay. What's your deepest fear?
Whoo!
Yeah. That's good.
Oh my god.
I don't need to be in this. This is
My deepest
This is you.
fear.
yeah.
I mean, for me, like, I'm a very maternal person, and I try not to dwell on this because, like, I believe in the law of attraction. So I try to be positive, but I think I'm a very maternal person. Like, I know I was like born to like have a career, but to like make
Be a
some
mother,
babies.
yeah.
To be a mom. So I think my biggest fear is that like I have this idea of like a family, and like for whatever reason, like that's my biggest fear is that won't happen the way I see it.
Well, it probably won't.
Well, it probably won't. No,
Yeah.
but I mean, not in the way that I see it in like an external sense, just in like a feeling and like
feels.
rewarding. Yeah.
Okay.
But I try not to dwell on it because,
Well, what do you think is gonna happen?
well, no, I think like, I mean, I know what I want to happen, so I just hope it happens that way.
And you're just afraid that it won't?
Just a little bit. Sometimes. Not always, but like that is like if I think of like the thing that scares me most.
Yeah.
That's like the most important thing to me. So like,
Motherhood.
yeah.
And that's something that you have to fight.
No, not really, but if you're saying what's your biggest fear.
Right. Well, I know you said you don't like to dwell on it.
I don't, and I don't think about it that much. Like, it's
Okay.
not like something that I'm tripping on. I think I'm probably fertile myrtle. No, I'm not saying it's like something that
Good fertile
like,
soil.
no, it doesn't like scare me constantly or like haunt me. But if you're asking like what is the scariest thought, that would be it.
That would be it. Okay. And then I want to ask one more question, since I think that was only answered in 2 minutes. What has been your most nourishing acting experience thus far? You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most nourishing acting experience. I mean, it's definitely on the show, for sure. I think, so we work with this acting coach on the show called Michael Traynor.
His name is Michael Traynor?
Yeah, that's his name. I hope he never hears this because I don't want to blow up his spot. But I think it's been like working with him because I've never felt comfortable with a coach before. I think it's been like working with him and like having him kind of slowly get access to all these little like
he's good, man.
Clogs in my brain that have like that's things about myself that I've like never even been aware of that has like opened me up, especially in this character. Like, so I think it's been like a process of like unraveling this like these I don't know connections that I can make now, and him being able to like trigger.
Yeah, he's incredible at that.
He's crazy.
He's like a sage at that.
And he gets to know you, like he just really like makes you feel so safe and like loved, and then he'll like make you cry on cue.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think like just working with him and working with other like we have so many talented actors and like guest cast, like when we have like a new cast member and then they come on set and they kill it and we're just like in the moment for the first time with another actor, like there's something like so special about that. And I'm lucky, like I often get the storylines with a lot of new people and fresh actors like who aren't jaded yet, and so they're like, yeah, I think that's like probably been the coolest part.
Very rewarding. Okay, I lied. I just got one more question. You can answer really, really quickly because I know Camille's gonna come knocking. What makes you tick on a day-to-day basis? What is it that makes you continually thrive?
Just the goals that I have made for myself, which are strong relationships and a very, full career. And so I just do whatever I gotta do in the day to make that happen.
Dope. Maia, you have inspired me in the last 37 minutes, for real. I'm gonna pass out as soon as we turn this off.
It's so hot in here. I don't sweat, and I'm starting to sweat a little bit.
Really, before they come knocking again, thank you.
You're welcome.
For doing this. Thank you for opening up.
You're welcome.
Literally from the beginning to now, I have felt growth. I have a deeper understanding of what it's gonna take for me to get where I want to go in terms of thriving.
Oh.
I'm serious. And that's like one of the intentions for these things is
cool.
We each leave feeling a little more inspired or a little more clear, on what it is that we're doing on this planet. So thank you very much.
I love you so much.
I love you too. Since we did that chemistry read, she was there for me. I was sweating like this. Nervous as hell.
Nervous.
And she was like, Jay, you got this. And she was so fine.
I just come from the beach.
I was so nervous. She was darker than me. She looked good. So. But, all right. Thank you, Maia. Kill it on set today.
Bye.